So Seris got a rework to Mortal Reach, her most popular talent, and it's quite interesting. It changes a dynamic with Seris that has been there since her release, where when you are in shadow travel, you are useless to your team, but you're also immortal. So, you know, it's a trade-off. You survive, but you aren't doing damage, you aren't healing, you aren't stunning, you aren't ulting. Now, with new Mortal Reach, you can heal while in shadow travel, and you can do approximately 2 full heals while you're in shadow travel now, because it also increases the duration by 1. So you don't get value by doing damage while you're in shadow travel, but if you need to escape an enemy and still heal your team, you can do both at the same time with this talent. They also put the range buff of Mortal Reach into base kit, but a nerfed version. Her range is now only 200 units. And she also doesn't have the increased tick rate of old Mortal Reach. That part of Mortal Reach is gone. So, yeah, this is very interesting. And it really sucks for me, because I was making a Seris guide for new players. Basically teaching the fundamentals of the support class, positioning, how to deal with cauterize, all that type of stuff. You know, doing damage and supporting your team in ways other than healing. I even had some good builds made, which I consulted with an entire council of Seris mains for, which I don't have on the PTS, so these PTS builds are going to be crap. And yeah, they changed her most popular and most fundamental talent, and so now, like, most of that guide, apart from the fundamentals about cauterize, is basically next. Yeah, it sucks.
Sight beyond sight.
Also, no, I'm not a level 999 Seris. Every character I have on the PTS is level 999, because a dev trolled me. I haven't spent 30,000 hours playing this game. Don't get it twisted. But yeah. Here's new Mortal Reach. Quite simply, we pick this. This build, funnily enough, even though it's outdated, and it has Soulforge in it, it still has Fade to Black, and it has Veil. And funnily enough, those actually seem like good cards to run with this, because we can do this, and then right-click, and I'm healing while in shadow travel. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, the question is, do we buy Chronos just to see how far we can push this, or do we buy a morale boost like a sane person? We're on the PTS. We buy Chronos to see how far we can push it. Let's go.
I've been waiting for so
Alright.
long.
I am ready. Let's go over here and heal the team. And most of this is just going to feel like normal Seris. But then we have that added quirk of the talent changing our gameplay in a fundamental way instead of just being a raw buff to our healing output. That's cool. That healed the total wrong person. I was aiming at Questionator, and it hit Wero all the way over there. The game is like, oh, Wero won the 7 duel, so Wero gets the healing, not Questionator. Ah. Yes. I should be back on point. You can push up. I will test the range buff. It looks like by default we can heal comfortably at that window. Furia actually got the exact same range buff, and I believe her healing has the exact same range as Seris. But Furia's range was actually bugged, I noticed, when we tested it, and she had major no-reg issues at that range. Whereas Seris is just fine right now, so that's good to see. So you will not be missing out on any range. This feels practically the same in terms of the range. That's really, really good. I mean, that is huge range right there. And you have to keep in mind that this is base kit range. This is not exclusive to Mortal Reach. So if you want to play Agony now, you aren't missing out on that range. That is something to keep in mind. Will Agony replace Soul Collector or Mortal Reach? I have no idea. Ask the Seris mains. But, yeah, this is interesting. I also have not had to shadow travel once this game, so this is a really poor test of the talent. I feel like high-skill Seris players actually won't play this talent because 90% of their gameplay will be like this, where they're spamming and then right-clicking, and I have not shadow traveled. So like I would get more value out of Soul Collector. I would have more health and I would have more damage, right, from the few times I've used Ren Soul. Alright, I can use this now. Finally get value out of this talent right there. I can run away and still heal Yag and help her run away. That's the value right there. Here we go. Keep you alive. Yes. Got some bogeys up there. There we go. There's a stun, I guess. I'll tell you what, I am really missing one of my level 1 fillers that I put in my build recently. Like I said, I consulted the council of Seris mains for Seris builds. There was a card I didn't even know existed that gives you ammo whenever you restore soul. And with that card, you basically never have to reload, just at level 1. I had no idea that was a thing, and I'm missing it so badly right now, because it actually feels so good. I should definitely use that card, if you aren't already. Just level 1 filler, pop it in, there you go, easy. Yeah, there are Seris mains. Dude, Seris is the most popular character in the game. Straight up, you can ask Cryptic right now, she's in the chat, she will confirm. Seris is the most popular character in the game. Like, she has the highest play rate in casuals. Not in high elo ranked, obviously, but just for the average casual player base, nobody gets more playtime than Seris. Omen actually, like, this patch got more playtime initially, because obviously he's a new character and everyone wants to try the new character. But over a long period of time, yeah, there we go, Cryptic saying it in the chat, yeah. Over a long period of time, Seris is the most popular. So statistically, there are more Seris mains than any other character. Pretty crazy. Yeah, look at that. I saved my life with Shadow Travel, and I get 2 full heals off in Shadow Travel. Ultimately, though, is that worth it enough to forsake Soul Collector now is the question. I'm leaning towards no, as my prediction for what Seris mains will conclude. In which case, I mean, I don't know, do we see Agony healer meta? Because it, you know, it nixes Cauterize? Or do we just see Soul Collector meta because it gives you extra damage, and extra health, and more survivability, and just the works? I don't know. Does your heal appear to the enemies in Shadow Travel? Because that kind of defeats the purpose. It probably does. But you're still immortal, so, like, it's fine, you know? The immortality is the big part of it. The invisibility is helpful, but slightly less so. And also, if you want to use your Shadow Travel for escaping, and you want to obfuscate the enemy's vision, then yeah, just don't heal. But then again, at that point, just play Soul Collector, you know? I will say, I appreciate the idea, though. It's a very interesting take on Seris that I haven't ever even really thought of before, but that is pretty cool. And the implementation is very smooth. I mean, the animation just works. I wasn't sure if the animation would be buggy, but no, the animation is just fine. Look at that. It's a bit buggy when you leave Shadow Travel because the first person isn't working. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's pretty smooth. It just works. Very interesting rework. I appreciate that they've gotten really bold with the reworks this patch. Like, we have complete full reworks for 4 talents. 5 talents, actually, right? Because we have Mortal Reach, Heads or Tails, Cherish, and Exterminate, and Lifelink, all getting full reworks. And these aren't, like, small talents either. These aren't, like, Persistence is on. No, these actually, like, change how the character plays. That's really cool. Okay, I'm gonna go. And then I can still heal. Here you go. Heal you go. Let's ult you. Oh, I was like, why is Nyx not getting ulted? She's just floating. No, she was getting ulted by Yag. Okay. Nice. Well, let's stun you. Go for the heal. And we should push this through. Alright. You can have only 2-second cooldown on her Shadow Travel, though. You can get it really low. I mean, honestly, with this build, if you just want to run a cooldown card, just run Fade to Black. Fade to Black is more valuable. Which is something I explained in the Seris guide that's not going to come out for a few months now. Because the talent got reworked, I have to rewrite everything and have to figure out how to play Seris again. Ah!
You actually won! Wow!
Paladins updates keep getting big W's and less L's. Absolutely. I think especially the mode that we're playing right now, this mode with the classic maps, really is a nice way to round out the Paladins Renaissance, as I have coined it, where we're getting a bunch of old stuff back, we're getting a bunch of massive W's. Pretty nice. Sorry we decided to cook on Zera's rip guide. Yeah. It's fine. I was procrastinating anyways. At least I didn't release it. You know, it's a good thing I procrastinated, because if I released that, like, a week ago, like I probably could have, I immediately have to take that down. Oh no. Blizzard would call this Paladins too. Oh god. But yeah, I'll retool that. I have a few other ideas cooking. I had the idea the other day of like 50 small things I like about Paladins. Just like really small things that we take for granted. But on a more serious, helpful note, you know, I did the best talent for every champion video. Someone suggested do the worst talent for every champion video. I could easily bang that out. And there's also, I'm running into like an issue, right? Like, I've had this idea cooking for a while, where we do one tip to counter every champion. Because I did a one tip for every champion video. That really popped off. It was a good video. But I'm running into an issue. I've like rewrote that script twice now, and every time I feel like it's just so repetitive. Because a lot of the ways you counter champions are like, you know, some champions just, you counter them the same way as you do other champions, you know? Oh, how do you counter half the flanks in this game? Play Torvald. Play Charlene. There you go. I feel like that one's harder to make. And then there's the more niche ones of like, oh, one Eevee tip versus every champion, or one tip to counter Eevee for every champion, or something like that. But I feel like that's more niche and it wouldn't pop off as well.